Hey guys, and welcome to Trailz. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys some easy early game farms that will help you get some emeralds in a village so that you can get some pretty good gear pretty early on with some minimal effort. These sometimes may need some this may require you getting some resources, but it will help you kind of get going forwards pretty early on. You will want to set up some basic villagers, but once they get going, you know what, you'll have some resources, you'll be able to trade with other villagers, but these guys will also help you set up for success going forward. But enough hemming and hawing, let's take a look at what we got. And the first one I want to talk about is one that I really haven't heard much YouTubers actually talking about, because I really think he is a really good guy, and it is not the farmer behind me, because this guy gets a lot of talk. Actually, it's the Fletcher. This guy right here is the hidden MVP. Yeah, I know you are. This guy does sticks for emeralds. I mean, he also will get you things like bows, crossbows, and I mean, he can get you enchanted arrows, but I've found I have a living village that I'm kind of working on. These are hit or miss. I haven't really gotten any good ones, but he also has some other ones. If you can get a chicken farm going or a string farm going, you can also get emeralds off of that. But early on, you can get a stick farm. If you get some sticks going, you can get some emeralds. And if you can get yourself some access to some bamboo, these farms are rapidly pushing out, and the bigger you make them, the more bamboo they push out. And I can tell you this, these pump out bamboo like nothing. But if you can't get access to these, just make a tree farm and just collect as much wood as possible. Because it's different types of recipes for each one, I figured I'd show you. And it's generally 32 at start. As I've kind of experimented with some different ones, and generally I found it's about 32 sticks per emerald, but it does get cheaper, and I found it kind of goes down to about 31 capping. I haven't gotten any cheaper, but it could go further down, but I figured I'd rough it at the average. So you generally will get about, per 2 stacks of bamboo, you'll get about 2 emeralds, but for a stack of oak logs it comes to about roughly 16 emeralds. So these guys, as long as you're keeping on top of them, will get you a decent amount of emeralds. And in my single player world, I actually rely on these guys for a bulk of my emeralds, because between the logs that I get and the bamboo, they supplement a decent amount of them. And also, I rely on them for my defense as well, because I love using the crossbows, and they come in handy for that as well, for my arrows and my crossbows. So having a couple Fletchers around are actually pretty good. Next on my list is a shepherd. These guys are a cool addition. They can get you a lot of different stuff, but the fact that you can trade wool to them to get emeralds is actually really awesome. You generally can either get white, black, or brown wool, which are all naturally spawning wool colors, or shears. What I like to do is I like to have a wool color and a shear as my trade, so that I don't have to waste my iron on shears. And then the rest are whatever. If I get another one going, at least in my single player world, I may end up having one with the other 2 colors, or the other colors in there, the other naturally spawning ones. You can also get them in shades of gray, but you can actually get them so it's down to 1 emerald per shear. You can go into your setup and just go in here. Now, with all these farms, yes, you could automate them, and honestly, you should. But this is early game. Honestly, you're trying to focus on building up your world, but you can come in here, shear your sheep, and the bigger you make it, the more emeralds you're going to get. So you come in here, you get them, and then you come talk to the guy. And right now, before I'm set up for automation in my single player world that I have going, this is kind of my routine. I come over here, I talk to him, and I get an emerald or two from him. And this will go down eventually, but every so often, once this fills up, you can go there. Eventually you can set up butchers and stuff, but before you do that, it's actually easier just to have these guys because this is renewable and you're not trying to waste your resources like wheat on trying to breed them. You can kind of just come in here and get emeralds easily that you can use on tools and stuff. I jokingly threw a bit of shade at the farmer earlier, but he actually is a really good resource to have around, and honestly you should have him at the beginning. Not only does he give you a good resource in bread if you have it, but I think they also do trade in wheat, but they'll trade in potatoes, carrots, and beets. So if you have a carrot, potato, or beet farm going, they're a good way to trade with that. But I generally don't, once I've gotten past this point, I don't generally trade in the carrots and potatoes unless I have a good farm for that. But the really good one for that is, at least early game, is the pumpkins and the melons. Because, and again, this is all early game. Because you can get 5 pumpkins or 5 melons for an emerald. And setting up a high yield farm, you can go from there. And again, easily automated. Once you've gotten the resources to do that, you can automate it and you can get more emeralds. And there's plenty of videos out there for how to do it. But then once you get them up high enough, you can also get you can get a decent amount of food, and you really don't need to farm your own food, and all your resources can go into getting emeralds. Just don't always trust your suspicious stews. Not all of them are good. One of my guys blinded me. Not really a farm per se, but you are going to waste a lot of... You're going to have a lot of waste as you dig around, as you look around, but this guy is going to be a good use. The mason, especially as you level him up, is going to get you a good source of bricks, and he's going to be a little bit of work to get past the early apprentice level, but once you get up, you can get him to get stone, and if you have a silk touch pickaxe, you can sell your stone for emeralds. You can also, smelt your stone, and that's a good source of emeralds. The other thing is he also will buy if you can get one, because they won't always do this. Sometimes they'll also just have 2 things you can purchase here. I have one of those in my single player world, and I'm planning on getting a couple more masons because of this. But they will also buy granite, diorite, and andesite as well, and that's another good use for your waste products if you don't plan on building with granite, diorite, or andesite, especially if you're a diorite hater. But as you level them up, you can get some awesome stuff out of them, but it's a good way of getting emeralds off of some of the waste that you may have laying around. So less of a farm, but a good way of getting emeralds as you kind of just live your life in your Minecraft world. Last but certainly not least is another one of everyone's favorite villager, the librarian. This guy not only deals in bookshelves and enchanted books, which allow you to enchant weapons, tools, armor, pretty much anything that you need, or mostly everything you need, but he also deals in paper. And in order to get that going, you can just do a simple sugarcane farm. You could easily do just every 2 blocks do a bit of water. There's also the checkerboard pattern one, but doing something simple as this and then just going along and just, hitting it like that. This is another easy one to automate by just putting an observer on the top one and just putting some pistons there. Plenty of videos out there for that, but 3 sugarcane equals a piece of paper, or equals some paper, and 24 paper equals emerald. So that means you can easily get some emeralds out of sugarcane as you go along. And I mean, you can even get books. You can sell books that you scavenge, but honestly, you'll want to keep those around. But you can also buy bookshelves from them. You can get a lot of different enchantments from them. And you can get glass. I've even seen mine on my single player world actually has a lantern for a single emerald. You get glass. This one here sells inks or buys ink sacks, which, if you have an ink farm going, be beneficial. But ink farms are going to be pretty end game for you to set up. So as you continue to get your farm set up, the more and more emeralds you'll be able to get. And these guys kind of start to get out some pretty decent gear and start to set you up pretty decently. So, as I said, these are some pretty early game farms for you. Once you start getting into the end game, you really don't need to worry about these type of farms. You should really start automating it and start dealing with it, and you can slowly start automating these setups. I know as my worlds are going to be going along too, that's basically what I'm going to be doing, is automating my current single player world that I'm going on. Kind of automating stuff has always been the type of thing that I enjoy. But anyways, this is again been Trailz. You guys, thanks for watching, and see you later.